Hey you guys, this is Daniel, and right now I'm supposed to be asleep because we've got a big conference to do tomorrow, but I am actually on the road heading to a special location here in Edinburg, Texas, and going down the highway at the moment toward a place called Doolittle Road because a friend of mine sent me an interesting article that talks about a mysterious woman in white, or the lady in white, that seems to be appearing to people and has some strange qualities about it. So we're exiting the highway now, and we're about to get a little bit closer to the location where supposedly this lady in white has been sighted, and seems like an interesting phenomenon, and we're going to look into it, see if we can figure out what's going on. So people talk about this mysterious lady in white floating around and seeming to be ghostly, but there may be something to it. We're going to take a look. We're getting close. The location that some of these people talked about seeing this was on Doolittle Road, and around that location, which is where we're headed now. We're getting a bit closer. I'm not sure what we're going to see or if I'm going to end up capturing anything at all, but I've got the camera here set up so that in case we do, we can document it. And in the case that we happen to run into the lady in white, I'm going to grab the camera and see what's going on. To the best of my ability, anyway, for you guys. But seems like an interesting case, so we'll see what we can do. It seems like a great opportunity to check out this local phenomenon here in Edinburg, Texas. I'm actually here for the UFO conference and festival that they have every year, but I figured, why not come check this out too? So we're about to turn on to Doolittle Road, where this mysterious lady in white has apparently been seen. So let's go check it out. And just for reference, you guys can see up here what direction we're headed. And we are now turning on to Doolittle Road, so
Turn
we
right,
will,
and the destination is on your right.
we will actually go a bit slower to see what all is here. Okay, I've got my brights on. Not sure what we're going to end up seeing, but it's always interesting to come and take a look. Right now it's almost 2 a.m. I'm supposed to be getting some rest for this conference in the morning we got to set up, but you know, this is just too good of an opportunity to miss, so here I am. And hopefully we might see the lady in white floating about. Just keeping a lookout on both sides of the road here. Don't really have any traffic, so I can go slow, but who knows what we're going to see. Looks like we just passed a cat on the road. It's always interesting to see something, and even though it might be an ordinary thing, if someone misperceives it, they might think it's some mysterious phenomenon, like a lady in white floating around, but maybe there's something to it, so I'm here to find out. Okay, we're at a stop sign, stoplight intersection. Looks like this road is mile 17, I think it says. I'm gonna keep going down, or up Doolittle Road here, and just slowly cruise along. Not sure who all is going to end up seeing this, but I think it's interesting, and I wonder what you guys would do if you were driving and you ended up seeing some apparition or some mysterious lady cloaked or and shrouded in white garments and just floating around, or hovering around, I guess I should say, or just acting weird. I think that's kind of a strange thing to come across or to describe seeing. So what do you guys think about that? I think if I saw it here on the road, I would probably jump out of the car and, you know, take action. I'd grab my camera, my other one, leave this one going, and I'd probably go for it. I know that seems like an impulsive thing to do, but you know, I think it's an important kind of issue to consider. You know, it's a fight or flight type of circumstance, perhaps, and I don't know what would happen until it happens. And so I just think that having these cameras here ready is probably the best thing to do. So we're coming upon another light here, and if I remember correctly, the article talked about how the cross section of Doolittle Road and Monte Cristo was where this person saw the lady in white. And so here we are. This is Monte Cristo. We're going to take a right so as to continue on to Doolittle Road here. Okay, so apparently this is where this person saw it. Now, who knows what they actually saw, or if it was just someone pulling a prank, but there were comments in the report about how someone had been murdered and there was some family involvement. There always seems to be a connection with paranormal activity and traumatic events like a murder case or something, so maybe it has something to do with that. I'm not too sure, but just gonna keep my eyes open for whatever we find. This seems kind of like an odd place to come across something like a lady just sort of floating around or hovering around off the ground. This is kind of a residential area, so I wonder where exactly the sighting occurred, or if it has anything to do with the history to the area or what, because there's a lot of houses and buildings on this road and it seems pretty modern. I don't know that that has anything to do with whether, you know, this lady in white lived here or what, or if it was just a person with a sheet over their head, you know. Could be, but it's always, I think, good to use discernment, and that's why we're here, to take a look for ourselves, you know, and see what we can find. I haven't really seen anything that I would describe like unusual, but I think for whoever had an experience here, it seems significant enough to them, if it's authentic, that, you know, they felt like sharing it. Some people that experience really extraordinary things sometimes they're not open to sharing. So kind of wonder about what that means, and if there really is anything to this lady in white. So as you can see, you know, I'm not the only one out here. Sorry for the road's a bit bumpy, as you can tell, but I'm obviously not the only one out here, even though it is late. There are other people driving around, and I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I literally hopped in the car from the hotel and drove not even 10 minutes to get here. So this isn't like way far out away from civilization, and I don't know that that would have anything to do with whether this is, you know, an authentic sighting or not, but it just seems strange that there are all these houses around, and you'd think that if someone really saw something, oh, there's a dog. You see that? Probably not, but so I've seen a cat and a dog so far, and it's dark, so kind of hard to see anything. Oh, here's another little critter. Don't know if you can see that. There's a dog over there too. So it's 3 animals I've seen so far, but those are not mysterious ladies in white. But you know, to the untrained eye, maybe it could appear that way. So it's interesting what you find sometimes, and sometimes it's not so interesting. But as I was saying, I think that people living here probably would have seen, you know, in the case that this wasn't just a one-time thing, that one person saw it, that people living right here, you know, all these houses, all these reflectors you see on the mailboxes, these are houses. And I imagine that they too would have seen whatever it was. And you would think that of all the houses we've seen, you know, maybe if any of them saw it, you have to think of how many of the people that may have experienced it would have even considered reporting it, you know, and where to and whatnot. It's kind of one of those things you wonder about when people have experiences, and you know, how often they actually end up sharing or trying to file a report. So thankfully for the reports that we do have, we can nail down a location and head there like we are now. And so if we don't find anything, that's okay, because maybe there is nothing to it. But in the you know, in the unlikely probability that there may be, I think it's interesting to go out here regardless and see what we can find. Nothing so far. Obviously you can see the car up here, and you know, this is probably a pretty, you know, regularly active residential road that people use. There's a car just kind of parked. Now that's a bit unusual. I'm going to back up so you can see that, because that's not something you normally see, but I don't know that it has anything to do with what we're looking for. But I will turn so that you guys can see this. You see that? There's a car here just like kind of off to the ditch. Maybe someone crashed. Maybe that was the lady in white. You can't even really see it, but there's just a car over there, like abandoned, and that's strange. But I don't think it has anything to do with what we're looking for here. I'm just trying to give you guys some commentary on the way, because if we don't see anything, then I know that's probably a bit of a letdown, but you know, it's not unexpected. I would be surprised, you know, if we did end up seeing something that we could capture, but you know, I think in all likeliness I'll end up driving back to the hotel and end up getting less sleep for the evening, but that's okay, and that's why I felt like coming to do this. I think it's, you know, it's an interesting phenomenon to report and to, you know, do this investigative kind of drive-through with. So we got a stop sign, and we're on let's see, what is that? Engle Road? Nothing mysterious so far. going to keep going as far as we can on this road, and maybe even do a drive back through from the other side. So we're at FM 2812 now, and this is a crossroads that someone had mentioned seeing it on, seeing this lady on as well. As you can see down there is the crossroad traffic, and on this side as well. But we're actually going to go forward onto, continuing onto Doolittle Road, because I think it continues for maybe half a mile before it dead ends, and we'll just see what's going on. The other report talked about seeing it on another road down here, but that may have been a few years ago, and it may be kind of a challenge to see if any of those claims are valid. As you can see in the distance out there, there are some lights. I'm not really sure. That might be the McAllen Airport, or maybe something different. Okay, you can see the dead end up there ahead, so nothing so far. So that's, you know, this is kind of a checkpoint, I guess. Not really sure what all is going to happen on the way back, but I will keep the recording going just in case. You never know. And I think it's kind of interesting to just, you know, follow the trail back and see if we missed something. Now I have no idea how the recording's going to come out. You know, it looks like the camera's moving around a bit. Oh, okay, we got, no, let's see, that's another dog. You see that? That's a dog. That is not a lady in white. Go on. Sorry, puppy. But you're just not, you're just normal. You're not paranormal. So that's like the fourth animal, or third dog, I think, but definitely not a lady in white. You know, I really don't think that people could mistake a dog or some other animal for something like an apparition, you know, but who knows? I doubt it, but there could be something to that. Interesting to see how we've already come across just a few of these animals. I'm going to actually turn down 2812 and keep going here for just a little bit, and come upon this road that was also mentioned in another sighting. So for anyone that ends up seeing this, I'd like to get your ideas on what may have been happening here, if you have any theories, or if you happen to catch anything in this video, visually or audio or however, that I may not have seen or was able to catch. Definitely respond with something that, you know, I might have missed, because sometimes these types of things seem to appear in you know, a captured form rather than someone in person actually seeing it for themselves. So I might be driving and not seeing anything, but then my camera might end up picking like a full-on, full-body apparition. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. You know, that's why I'm recording. But, oh, people. There were people on the left side of the road there. I'm not sure if you saw them, but, you know, that's worth turning around to just kind of double check. It looked like a couple, but I think that it's worth just turning around, because that's the first person or people that we've seen, and I think it's worth at least doing a quick 184. You know, and I'll go slow. Yeah, I can see him up there on the shoulder here. Now I'm just gonna go slow, hopefully not to frighten these people, but to just kind of get an idea that these are just regular people. Yep. Okay. And I'm not sure the camera saw that very well, but they look like a couple, you know, walking back from the store or something like that. Not anything strange. They definitely didn't jump out in front of my car, you know, to frighten me or anything, so that's probably for the best. So the other place that someone said they may have seen this is a little bit of a drive, but we'll just go there for a minute just to see. There's those people again. Yeah, just for the third time, those were not ghostly apparitions or anything strange, so can scratch that one off. But it makes you wonder, you know, if this lady in white was just a person, you know, just playing a prank. A lot of times that can be the case, but sometimes not. Whoever that was walking together, I hope they don't run into the lady in white. You know, they get chased off, I guess. Who knows? Seeing so many cars, even this late at night, just makes you kind of consider how many times something like this would have been seen by people, and you know, I guess that is why we know about it now, but if there's anything to it, you have to wonder what there is that we can go by to make some kind of determination about how this is being affected. Let's see, is that... Nope. Okay, I'm going to keep going because that is... Yeah. Anyway, so it makes you wonder about if there's some kind of methodology to it. You know, let's say if she's just appearing in one location, one street, it seems like that would kind of have a little bit more notoriety to it. But if it's popping up here and then a mile over in this direction, it makes you wonder what kind of things are, you know, making that happen that way. And you know, that's kind of one of the mysteries of the paranormal that are, you know, are still very ambiguous. So we're not really sure how and why some of these things work, but we can just do, you know, our best to really make some progress in figuring those things out. Okay, Brushline Road. Now this is the road that was said to be the other location, and we're not that far away. We're on Brushline Road at the crossroads of 2812 and Brushline, and as you can see, you know, this is also a residential road, and there's a car coming down from way on the other side, so this is not just some dirt road, you know. And in the case that this lady in white's floating around the streets of Edinburg, you would think more people would have spoken up, you know, after seeing it make the rounds, you know, going around town. Maybe, let's see, look at all these cars. So the video that was with the article showed you know, a dash cam, kind of like a configuration similar to what I'm doing here, but the driver came upon someone on the road, you know, and kind of in front. Okay, here we go. Wait. Oh no, look at that pack of dogs. You see that? This video is turning into a search for dogs, wild dogs running around. I think that's what we've been able to determine, is that Edinburg is just rampant with wild dogs. But the video showed this figure, a person, you know, walking around. You know, it says that the report also says that the thing was floating or hovering around, but the video attached clearly shows, you can see the person's feet. Okay, here we go. Let's see, what is this? There's obviously a gathering. There's a gathering of people. These are not mysterious ladies in white. These are regular old, just people. And I'm not even sure what's happening here, so I'm just going to keep going because it looks like there's some party or whatever, but you know what? Maybe I should ask. Maybe, oh, there's a car behind. I'm going to turn around where this car appears turning around and ask these people here, because maybe they're having a party here on their at their house or whatever, and so that could be a lead for someone that might know what this is all about. And I think we've probably gone far enough on this road to only really come upon seeing more dogs, you know, and whatever else, wildlife. Okay. All right, here we are. Now this should be interesting. I'm gonna play it safe. Let's see, who can I call out without making a scene? Let's see. No, they're getting in their car. It seems like a lot of people are getting in their car. He's got a case of beer. You know, this is quite interesting. Maybe they're having a party. Looks like they're, you know, probably having a few drinks. This is also something you have to think about. Is this maybe a reason why people are seeing Mysterious Lady in White? Who knows? But looks like I might need to get on the side here and let them pass by for a moment. Now this is a good opportunity to actually talk to someone. Here we go, right here. Here's some people. Hey you guys! Hey you guys! How's it going, guys? Now if I ask you a question real quick? Nope. Look at this. Alright. Oh man, these people are partying it up right now. Like, I mean, they're just walking on the road. Like, I can't even... Let me ask them a question real quick.
How the fuck are you gonna go see a fight, Melissa? Huh? Hurry up and get in.
There's a fight. Orale, la camera.
Let me drive away, I swear to God. I won't crash. I swear, man. I swear to God.
Dude, look, they want money.
Oh man, there's people fighting over there. This video has turned into something so much different than what we set out for. There's a group of people over here fighting. Wow, okay, so so that's kind of strange, I guess. I'm gonna pull another 180 here because I think it's probably about time to wrap things up on this road before we're not able to make it back or whatever's gonna happen. So you know, there's a huge group of people up there. Let's try to see. Oh, man, see all these people. I mean, this would be the perfect time, lady in white. make yourself known to this massive crowd. I'm not going to be able to get back.
17,
I mean,
Are you sure you don't want anywhere? Sure. Are you sure? Hey, one no. Hey, yours.
well, as much as I probably would like to talk to whoever that was, it's probably best that I just keep going, because I don't think I'd like to stick around and find out what's gonna happen. Alright, here we are, getting off Brushline Road and back onto 2812. So what we'll do is we'll backtrack on Doolittle Road, and hopefully that's a little you know, more convenient of a route to take back, because I'm not really familiar with the surrounding area, and it's probably a good thing that I was able to get out of that place back there. I was almost blocked in. There was just people walking all over the road and fighting and just crazy stuff. That might be more interesting than seeing a lady in light hovering around. I don't know. Alright, we're coming back up to Doolittle Road from 2812. And as I said earlier, we're just going to backtrack down that one. And hopefully we get the lady in white this time. But I really doubt that's going to happen. At this point, anyway. Alright, so we're back on Doolittle Road, backtracking on the road which we originally came, and as you can see, there's still traffic. There's a car ahead of us, and doesn't look like we're going to end up seeing anything. Well, you know, we did see quite a few things, actually. You know, haven't seen the lady in white, but definitely saw several wild dogs and a huge party of people brawling it out. And that's probably more strange than seeing some lady in white hovering around. I was definitely not expecting to see a crowd of people and a fight break out and getting, you know, blocked on the road. So there's that. But alas, no lady in white. Not this time. There's that car. Who knows what happened to that? Alright, so here we are coming upon the intersection. We don't know if the lady in white... Oh, no, there's a person, but they're getting in a car, so they must be a physical body, I guess. Not a ghostly apparition passing through and hovering around objects, I guess. But it makes you wonder, you know, if someone saw something here, what does that mean? And what kind of sense can we make out of that? Were they party goers who were just fighting it out and having some drinks with a bunch of wild dogs? And as I say that, there's another dog. this is getting strange now. Not really, but, you know, we saw a few things. We didn't see a lady in white, unfortunately, but I think unexpectedly coming across several wild dogs and a huge party of people. I mean, it might be one of those things where, you know, I'll come back next time and find out no one lives over there, and, you know, people haven't been seen over there in decades, and the whole area of that party is going to be gone and missing, and end up being some strange paranormal oddity. But, you know, I don't think so. So I do apologize again for those of you watching for all the bumps and shakiness you've had to tolerate. Though there may be no lady in white or mysterious paranormal phenomenon, we have figured out that Edinburgh definitely has some brawling drunkards and feral canines about. That's, I think, what we figured out in this investigation. And as interesting as it would be to think that people have been experiencing some strange entity hovering around this area, I think that we have to have an open mind and be considerate about some of the experiences people have, and in all realms of consciousness and everything that, you know, happens outside of our narrow scope of reality. But we also need to, you know, use our discernment in a way that isn't just, you know, me driving around seeing a bunch of dogs saying, "There it is! You know, that's it, that's the lady in white," and just making sure that we discriminate between, you know, figuring out what we can really just factor in and then factor out, because we can see that this is an active area, we're not in the middle of nowhere, and that there has to be something that people, you know, are experiencing, if it's real, if it's an authentic phenomenon that is experienced by more than one person. It makes you wonder about who is seeing it, how they're seeing it or experiencing it, and if it's just a matter of, you know, hearsay, because that sometimes is what things can just boil down to be. It's just a, you know, just imagination run amok. We hope usually that that's not the case, but more than often, you know, more times than not, it can be, and so it's good to be considerate of that as well when you're out in the field. But it doesn't seem like we're going to be coming upon anything significant in our, you know, endeavors here. Now, this is interesting. I'd just like to point out that right here there are sprinklers, or, you know, water being sprayed, and it has an interesting effect. You probably can't really see that in the video, but as I was coming upon it, it looked very misty. You know, I could see how someone seeing that might think it could be something otherwise, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions about anything like that, because you can easily tell as you get close that, you know, they're, in this case, they're sprinklers or something, you know. But you have to keep in mind that when people are in some kind of altered state or however else, that if they see something they don't immediately recognize, then maybe their mind jumps to conclusions, or it might just end up being some mysterious lady in white when in reality it's just, you know, nothing of the sort. But we try to keep an open mind and get rid of the poor information and try to find the good material that helps to build a case, which in this case isn't really happening. You know, as for those of you who've watched the video this long, it doesn't seem like it's really been worthwhile for those expecting to have seen the mysterious lady in white pop out in front of my car. So as we wrap up this excursion in Edinburg, Texas, I will leave everyone here with just the notion that anything is possible and we shouldn't dismiss it because it doesn't fit our point of view or paradigm, and that we ought to be considerate about others' experiences in regard to the paranormal, the metaphysical, and the like, because someone else's experience is not always going to make sense to our own perspective and our own experiences. And so when we have someone tell us that something extraordinary happened, it's important to understand from a neutral, unbiased standpoint so as to gather clarity and discernment of that matter, so that we don't muddy or dirty up the information by maybe wanting it to be true or wanting it to be a lady in white so bad that everything we see is the lady in white, you know. And that could be said about a number of other types of phenomena, but in the case of what we're dealing with here this evening, I have to say that I wasn't unexpected that we didn't come upon anything, but I'm glad that we got to go because I enjoy traveling. I enjoy being able to go out into the field and see what is out there and what can be done as far as establishing credible reports and research. So I definitely recommend that to anyone else as well, that if you're able to, go out there and just experience. You don't always have to have equipment or cameras or readers, but just bring yourself and bring your own openness to the environment and what it has to offer you. And you know, nature's full of possibilities. Who knows? You know, maybe the next person to come out here will see the lady in white. And just because we didn't tonight doesn't mean it won't happen or it doesn't exist. And so as we end our journey, I am glad to be able to be here in Edinburg, Texas, and let's keep the flame going of looking into mysterious phenomena and what we can do to help bring clarity and awareness to these matters in a way that's not just eye-opening, but also sobering, because it's important for people to have the reality of what's going on in a way that isn't too provocative and too traumatic, but also not underwhelming. It's important that if we find out that something extraordinary exists here, that we can share about it and then look into it through scientific means and help to you know, do what we can to understand it better. But all in all, this was a good time and I'm glad to have done it. So I'm looking forward to other great things that we can look into, and if you have any suggestions or if you've had any experiences in Edinburg or otherwise, I'd be glad to hear what you have to say. Alright, so in closing, I'm sorry to anyone that felt incredibly and terribly let down that we didn't get to capture the mysterious lady in white tonight. And you know, as much as I would have liked to have her jump out in front of my car and you know, run out with the camera and grab her or something and you know, see how that would have gone, Obviously it didn't, and you know, that's okay, because you know, I think that it's just a matter of taking into account a lot of the reports that people have and doing the best you can to do your own investigative field work and see what you can do yourself to be proactive and figure out what we can do to basically provide ways to substantiate such claims, because if there is a mysterious lady in white out there, hopefully someday we will figure out what there is to it. But for now, all we know is that there are lots of stray dogs and crazy parties in Edinburg. And a lot of other great things like the annual UFO festival and conference. But of course, when it comes to things like the mysterious lady in white, we didn't get her this time. And the reports that I looked into happened just within the last day of being reported, and I think that, you know, we have to see how relevant that is to what I actually, you know, was able to capture, or if you know, we can come up with any other recent sightings or things like that. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed our time together tonight, and if you are interested in looking into more mysterious phenomena, then I definitely recommend subscribing to our channel. We like to share about a lot of interesting topics, but I'd be glad to connect with anyone who has things they'd like to share regarding the lady in white or other things like that, because it's a good way to connect and find out more about this type of stuff. So I look forward to connecting with all of you, and until next time, stay safe, keep your eyes open, think outside the box, and step into the vortex. This is Daniel Allen Jones, signing out.